All right, welcome back. Whitlock and Wiley, Fox college football analyst Reggie Bush is back with us. Let's move to college football, where a couple of quarterbacks have separated themselves from the pack so far this season. With touchdown Tua and Jalen Hurts dominating early season Heisman chatter, according to Fox Bet, Tua is barely edging Jalen as the favorite to win the award, with both way ahead of the rest of the field, which makes sense given their numbers. Both guys are having huge years, with Tua throwing for more yards and touchdowns, but Jalen adding some big rushing numbers to his passing game. All right, look, you know what? I'm going to let you go first, Reggie.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the Heisman, Tua or Jalen Hurts?
I think it's going to be Jalen Hurts. And I think the way he played the situation, I think he played it perfectly, because I think we saw him grow up and become a man before our eyes. And he went from having to face SEC defenses every week to now playing against Big 12 defenses. So what you saw against UCLA, it, to me, is a microcosm of what's going to happen for the rest of the year, because there is not a team, not a defense on Oklahoma's schedule that is going to shut them down, is going to slow them down. And Jalen Hurts has receivers like CeeDee Lamb. I mean, he has speed at every position. It doesn't matter who he throws the ball to. They all got speed. And so, to me, it's going to be tough for anybody to slow him down. And he's going to continue to put up these kind of numbers week in and week out. Tua has to play Auburn. He got to play LSU. He has to play some tough defenses. So, by that, I think that Jalen Hurts wins the Heisman.
Yeah, look, I want to push back on you, but I think that's what's going to be the reality. I've learned a long time ago watching these Heisman hopefuls that when the numbers are comparable, that the story is the trump card. That's what's going to win. And last year we saw with Kyler Murray, that was a better story than Tua in terms of the little engine that could, and wow, this dynamic offense and this football quarterback factory out of Oklahoma. Then Jalen Hurts lands there as well. So now we're seeing the same thing despite having comparable numbers. However, my issue is this. So far, Oklahoma has played weaker opponents. They played one Power 5 team, and that's UCLA, which is right now glorified high school out there, the way that the Rose Bowl's looking. I know you love that joke, Reggie. But the thing about it is, if you haven't played the same level of competition and you're losing in some of the major statistical categories to another guy, and Tua is due something of this magnitude. Think about it. If Tua leaves this year for the draft, #1 overall pick more than likely, are you kidding me? Tua didn't win the Heisman in either of these years with the numbers he's put up. Near perfection if you talk about his touchdown-interception ratio. So I just don't think that he's going to get a chance because of the story out of Oklahoma, but he should.
But also, same thing for Jalen. Jalen has more touchdowns than he has incompletions. So he's also putting up the numbers to make a case for winning that Heisman Trophy as well.
This is going to get ugly. No, it's going to get ugly because jealousy rules all of man. 3 straight years, an Oklahoma quarterback winning the Heisman Trophy. People are going to campaign against this. Jalen Hurts' story is so positive, and that kid is such an amazing story that there's going to be some reluctance in September and October.
Great point.
But come November, it's going to be damn near like Trump and Hillary all over again. This is going to get ugly. The negative campaigning, and I'm going to tell you what's going to impact it. If Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray struggle in this NFL season in October and November, that's a little gimmicky offense, man. Are we really going to do this to Tua? He's clearly the better pro prospect and the better quarterback. And Nick Saban and Alabama fans have the courage to negative campaign. And again, even though it's Jalen Hurts, they have the courage to be like, because look, this is great for the Oklahoma brand. Come here, you'll win the Heisman Trophy. And so if I'm Clemson, if I'm Dabo, if I'm Nick Saban, I don't want Oklahoma to continue with this narrative. And so I look for them to start pushing out the narrative, hey, man, these Oklahoma, it's a gimmick offense. Tua is the real deal. I think it's going to get ugly, and I think there's a chance Tua could win in that scenario.
And I also think you have to understand Lincoln Riley as well, because, you know, when it's getting closer towards the end, Lincoln Riley's going to be trying to push his guy, keep him on the field longer, right? Because Oklahoma doesn't have the same defense as Alabama, period. So Tua's going to be sitting by the 3rd or 4th quarter, which he has already done. Against Duke, he was sitting by the 3rd quarter. And so in some of these games, he may be sitting early. Jalen Hurts is going to be playing the whole football game. Even in the Oklahoma game, when they were blowing him out the water. UCLA game, he was still in there towards the end of the game. We were screaming at the TV, get him out of there, because if he gets hurt, then
he wants the third Heisman.
Hey, let's be real.
He wants that.
Alabama wins this no matter how this plays out, because they can walk around in recruiting and say, even our backups can win the Heisman. Think about that. Can you imagine coming to somebody's living room saying that? You got my son.
Yep. All right, Darnell, did we miss anything?
No, but we want to stick with college football, where Florida State is off to another bad start, and fans seem to be ready to move on from their head coach, Willie Taggart. One 4-year-old fan decided to take matters in his own hands, setting up a free Willie lemonade stand to help pay for Coach Taggart's $17 million buyout. He came up a tad bit short of his goal, making only $241. And after the boy's dad matched the total, they sent a check of $482 to Seminoles Boosters Incorporated. Want to ask you guys, do you have a problem with this?
That's ridiculous.
I have a big problem with it.
Go, please.
Huge, and I was upset yesterday. This was on ESPN's homepage. And I was also a 4-year-old who basically his dad is trolling Willie Taggart.
His dad wrote that little board, by the way. He didn't write that.
We're now elevating troll. And you get to troll Willie Taggart, who's struggling at Florida State. This is a gimmick. It's a troll. It's not a legitimate news story. Obviously, we're talking about it here, but we're talking about it because I wanted the opportunity to shoot it down. It's unfair to Willie Taggart.
It's certainly unfair. I have a 4-year-old at home, and I know his limitations. Right that sign.
No.
He's not even counting the money. He doesn't know what we did out there. So, unfortunate. You know, sometimes you just got to step back from the society that you're a part of and shake your head and say, oh, this is what you're using your child for, using him for the elevation of your trolling. It's upsetting to me as a father and even a fan of the sport who, let's let process play out. We don't know how this is going to work out for Willie Taggart.
And like you said, using him, right? He's using his 4-year-old. His 4-year-old don't know Willie Taggart or doesn't know what's going on in this situation with Florida State. My 4-year-old is trying to figure out how to color or what he's going to eat next or what playground we going to. Like, he's not worried about somebody's job who plays. He doesn't even know what football is yet.
Getting another man fired is not what a 4-year-old is worth.
Absolutely not.
The dad is. And again, I saw this on the homepage elevated at ESPN, and I was like, man, come on. Willie Taggart deserves better than this, and we shouldn't be elevating a troll. All right, coming up, the Ball family is back and as obnoxious as ever.
Speaking of elevating.
I'll tell you if their latest family meltdown is for real or just a publicity stunt. Darnell's question of the day.